Hey, teacher friends. Thanks for joining me today while we take a look at Storyboard That. Storyboard That is a super cool tool that you and more importantly your students can use to create digital comic strips online. I love it. It's super fun to use. And my favorite thing about it is I'm not an artistic person and I can't draw, but maybe I have this really cool idea for a comic strip project in my head, but I'm just not good at getting it down on paper. With this kind of a tool, I can tell my story the way I want to tell it, and it's still going to look good. So let's jump in and take a look at it. All right. So we are taking a look here at Storyboard That. And here's my little dashboard. By the way, when you sign up for this as a teacher, you can get a 14-day free trial. So maybe sign up for it, this last week before Christmas break. And it's a great time to do something fun like this and have your students demonstrate their knowledge and show what they've learned from this unit that you're wrapping up by creating a comic strip to tell the story or to explain concepts, however it applies to your class situation. This is something that's great that everybody can use. All right, so let's take a quick look at what one of these looks like. Here is my Storyboard That example that I made here. So we've got a conquistador and a priest on a beach in the New World. We have a samurai warrior. We've got a thing about Dr. Mae Jemison, an astronaut, Roberto Clemente, a baseball player, and Lindsey Sterling, a famous violinist. That's what it looks like. This is kind of like what an end product is. So let's jump in here and edit this one and take a look at how we made it. You can see I left one blank square here so we can finish this off as an example. Up at the top here, we have all of our categories that we can find things to go into our cartoons with. We have the scenes, and there are tons of different categories for the scenes as well. So these are your backgrounds. Okay, you've got entertainment, you got home, indoor, outdoor, school, athletics, transportation, work, classical homes, historical backgrounds. Again, history teacher in me loves that. How cool is that? We got on deck of a ship if we wanted to do something about Columbus or the Columbian Exchange. We got a horse cart. We got some old Spanish style things here. There we go. Egypt. All right. Medieval things. We got lots of historical backgrounds we can use there. We've even got some U.S. history categories here for Native Americans, colonial type things, country, rustic. So if you're doing something about farms and whatnot, we've got some outdoor backgrounds that your students could use. Again, outdoor. So maybe for geography or something like that, or earth science. We got lots of options that you can use for that. And then maybe for creative writing for your ELAR teachers here, we've got mythical and futuristic background. So maybe your kids have written a fiction story and they can turn their fiction story that they've written into a digital comic strip now. On the free version, you can make either 3 or 6 frame comics, but with the non-free version, you get more options on that. So if your students need to make more than 6, they ought to be able to, as long as it's between this 14-day free trial period if you're trying that out. Here we go. We have this weird kind of like a mad scientist laboratory. So let's go to characters and let's see if we can find us a scientist. Okay, so we've got images that came up. We've also got little characters here, and notice they come very plain so that you can then customize them to whatever hair, skin, and all the colors that you want here. So we can go in here, and we will give him some gray hair, because let's go white hair. Well, maybe we can go in between a little bit there. Yeah. His skin tone. What color is his skin going to be? Well, let's just keep it safe there. Eyes. He's got some blue eyes. His mad scientist lab coat is actually green, and his shirt underneath will stick with yellow. His pants, Let's go with dark blue on his pants there. And for his shoes, some nice boring, is it brown, maroon? I don't know. Sometimes I'm kind of colorblind. So we've got our mad scientist here. Notice we can edit his pose. We can also rotate him if we need to change things left or right. We can edit their pose, so I can change his facial expression and everything. Maybe I want to make him look upset and angry, and we want to tilt his head to the right a little bit there as he's staring at you and he's very mad, and maybe he's raising his arms in anger, or no, he's face palming in disgust at what the people are doing because he's a mad scientist. He's an evil bad guy mad scientist. We can make him look to one side or the other. Maybe we needed to have him turned around facing the other way. We got lots of options here. If we wanted him to be walking or sitting down or kneeling, we got options for that as well. All right, so now we have added our disgusted mad scientist character. We could add text bubbles and everything with the textables. And we also have signs and everything else in here. So maybe if we wanted to, oh, look, there was a sign there. Maybe we want to put a wet floor sign here. We could do that. All right. Shapes we could drop in there if there was some reason you needed to drop shapes into your comic strip. We have lots of icons is probably a good word for these here that you could use to create infographics, including phones, iPads, and computer screens. Okay, more web and wireframe things that would be great for creating infographics as well. Could be really good if you're trying to have your students explain a concept. We got some scientific things here. We've even got some little worksheet type options that we can throw in there. Looks like we can upload our own images as well if we needed to include something in there. Maybe we could do our own special backgrounds. The character categories are really cool too. I didn't go over those, but you've got adults, teens, kids, jobs, right? Sports, people in 1900s, 20th century clothing, and then before that, even more historical. We've got medieval characters, classical era, for your Egyptians and your Greeks and your Romans and stuff. Monsters and myths. That's cool. Here we go. Mythology. It's just silhouettes if you need some background stuff going on. Lots of options for that. We got just stick figures. And it looks like we've got a bunch of animals as well. I think kids are going to be able to make some super cool exciting comic strips with this, and I really look forward to seeing them. So make sure you let me know when your kids are working on this so I can come by and check out their finished comic strips. I would love to see that. All right, again, this is amazing. Thanks for checking it out with me today. You guys have a great break, and I'll see you next year.